Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ohio City Incorporated's annual meeting. As you'll notice, no doubt, it looks a little different this year. Instead of being in a room all together, we're all at our homes and place of business, and we're thankful that you've joined us this evening. But what we really are focused on doing tonight is not so much looking backwards. Typically for these meetings, we look to the past year and celebrate some of our accomplishments. Tonight, we're really going to focus on looking forwards. Right now, we're fighting two pandemics. One is COVID-19, as we've all been aware of and in our homes for the last several months, and the other is the racial inequality that's facing our neighborhood and our nation. We know how to fight one: wear a mask, stay home, be responsible with social distancing. We know how to overcome that, and I'd encourage you to continue to focus on those things. The other one, we have to work harder. The other one, we have to get smarter. We have many programs in our neighborhood that are steps in the right direction, but they're not enough, and we know that. And so this organization is focused on really making the priority of the next year and the next 10 years and the next century. How can we bring racial equality to our neighborhood in a true and meaningful way? So watch out for programming around that in the coming weeks, and we will certainly keep you all informed of the latest activities of the organization. Thank you all. Thanks to the community, thanks to the board, thanks to the staff for everything you're doing to help our organization forward. We really appreciate this and could not be going through this strange time without you, and we thank you for your support. And thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate you taking a time out of your day, getting a beer out of your own fridge instead of off the table in the back. But we hope that you are here to learn and here to see some of the great things that we're doing and have upcoming. And like to introduce, and thanks for coming also, Councilman McCormick.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for having me this evening, and welcome to, like Chris said, a very different annual meeting for Ohio City Incorporated. Guys, I just want to start by saying, in really support of Ohio City Inc. and the staff members who make the day-to-day work of Ohio City possible. The board is a dedicated group of individuals who don't get paid anything to spend a whole lot of time ensuring that our neighborhood becomes a better place every single day. So thank you so much to the OCI staff and to the board that are so committed to our neighborhood. As Chris noted, we are facing a lot of challenges in our community today, from a global sense all the way down to the local level. One of the reasons that I am so confident that we are going to come out of this as a better, more just community is by looking at neighborhoods like Ohio City. Ohio City has decades and decades of passionate people that are committed to social justice and to making our community a better place. So we can look no further than our neighborhood to say that we will come through as a stronger, more just community because of how strong our neighborhood is and because of how strong and passionate people are to take care of each other, to advocate for their neighbor, and to make sure that we're going to be a better place tomorrow than we are today. So again, I want to thank everyone through Ohio City Inc. for all of our members that are tuning in today. Thank you for what you're doing in our community and our neighborhood. Thank you for what you've done around COVID and standing up for racial justice here in Cleveland as well. So let's look forward to another great year here in the neighborhood. I'm excited. I'm energized by everything going on and by the passion I see every single day from the community members here in Ohio City. So let's put more love and more activism and more good energy into our neighborhood here to come. Thank you, guys.
Good evening. My name is Tom McNair, and I am the Executive Director of Ohio City Incorporated. And let me again welcome you to our 2020 annual meeting. Now, I know that this is a strange format for an annual meeting, but these are certainly strange times that we're living in. And as we go through tonight, please make sure to comment in the comments section below the video, and we will get back to you in a timely manner. Now, 2019 was an important year for our organization as we began to move towards the conclusion of our Access and Mobility Strategic Vision. But ultimately, that work we did in 2019 proved to be foundational for where we find ourselves today. You see, every community development corporation is different, but at the end of the day, we all exist to be responsive to the unique needs of our community and lead in their revitalization. And right now, all of us are learning to adapt and be responsive to the changing world in front of us. So tonight, we want to acknowledge and celebrate the people who made 2019, which I know seems so long ago, a success, but also to share with you where we are, and more importantly, where we need to go as an organization and a community in that changing world. We will be sharing our evolving work and how we support our local businesses, the growth and expansion of our special improvement district, what community engagement looks like today, how we truly serve all of the members of our community. And we will also look at how we continue to serve youth and families in today's world, what an equitable housing agenda looks like while facing the pressures of a growing neighborhood. And to kick all of this off, I'd like to introduce you to Ashley Shaw, our Director of Neighborhood Planning and Economic Development. Thank you and have a great night.
Hello, I am Ashley Shaw. I am the Director of Neighborhood Planning and Economic Development. I work with businesses in the neighborhood, and then I also work on urban planning projects like streetscape improvements, public spaces, public art. In 2019, we finalized the Ohio City Retail Plan, which is a plan that had two elements to it. It both engaged over 1,000 community members to understand what the community wants in terms of new businesses in the neighborhood, and then also looked at our demographics in our market to give us the data that we need to understand what types of businesses the neighborhood can currently support, and then also the tools that we need to go out and recruit the businesses that the neighborhood is asking for. We, in 2019, assisted 15 new businesses in opening in the neighborhood. Many of those businesses were retail and service-based businesses, which are in line with the types of businesses that the community highlighted in the retail plan. We worked with our Economic Development Committee to develop initiatives for the retail plan, like recruiting more businesses that the community identified they'd like to see here, creating incubation opportunities for small businesses, like a shipping container project that we're currently developing on Lorraine Avenue. More information on that to come. Recruiting and supporting more businesses owned by people of color and businesses that cater to underserved populations in Ohio City. And then also working with our existing business owners to make those businesses more inclusive and accessible to all residents in Ohio City. While the work of the retail plan going into 2020 was the priority, soon our work quickly evolved with the coronavirus, and we began some crisis management in assisting our businesses with the shutdown and making sure that they could access resources that they needed in order to survive and reopen when it passed. We continued to assist new businesses in opening during the shutdown. Two businesses recently opened in the neighborhood, Waffle Bar and Rose Parlor. We also assisted more than 60 businesses with accessing financial resources like the Payroll Protection Program and the City of Cleveland's working capital loans to ensure that businesses had financing and funding that they needed to survive, and also assisted their staff with accessing unemployment benefits when needed. We also launched a online engagement platform called Co-Urbanize. This allows us to reach community members online via collect feedback on projects via voicemail, text messaging, and we're also getting ready to launch some in-person collection of feedback, and we're using this platform now for a handful of projects, including a new business called CoHatch. And this platform will allow us to collect broader feedback from a wider array of community members, and it also allows us to ensure that the entire approval process and all of the feedback that is collected is transparent and accessible to all community members. And then throughout the summer, we'll continue to support new businesses however they need in order to make sure that they are successful throughout the summer. That includes helping to implement the City of Cleveland's new outdoor dining legislation through converting streets to pedestrian plazas for businesses, creating new parklets and parking lanes for businesses to serve their residents, and then we'll also be developing some new initiatives that we'll announce soon. Thank you. The Ohio City Improvement Corporation is Ohio City's Special Improvement District. It was created in 2011 to provide the Clean and Safe Ambassador Program in the area just around the West Side Market. It was expanded in 2017 to include all of West 25th Street, and then we just undertook a large expansion to include most of the commercial areas in Ohio City. The Special Improvement District is a district that is created and funded by property owners in the district. They pay a special assessment on their property taxes in order to fund these services.
Hi everyone, I am Michaela Lowry. I am the new Special Improvement District Manager. I am a recent graduate of Cleveland State University, earning a master's degree in public administration for the Maxine Goodman Levin College of Urban Affairs. I'm a recent intern of Cleveland Neighborhood Progress, where I worked under supervision of Melinda Gianti and Colleen Gilson. Our new services include our Clean and Safe Ambassador program, which entails patrolling the district, removing litter and graffiti, providing safety escorts, motor vehicle assistance, addressing public disturbances, homeless outreach, and greeting and assisting people in the district. We also have maintenance and the expansion of Ohio City's safety camera program, our late night safety program with safety patrols and escorts provided by a third-party contractor, and someone to assist in social services. Also with the newly expanded SID, we have new boundaries. The new boundaries expand to our commercial corridors of West 25th Street, Detroit Avenue, and Lorraine Avenue. This year we have an annual budget of $560,000 with the investment money coming in every year. Things that I am currently working on. I'm working on coordinating community cleanup events throughout the summer. I'm planning a monthly walking tour with our clean and safety ambassadors, passing out flyers to our residents that live within the SID boundaries and also to residents who don't live in the SID boundary. Installing lights in Market Square Park, planning to incorporate local artists from the neighborhood to create murals on our properties throughout the district, and lastly, snow removal, which will include larger areas. This is paid in part by our property owners. Thank you to our property owners who pay into the SID.
And during the coronavirus and the stay-at-home order, the Clean and Safe Ambassadors, their work evolved to include also sanitizing heavily touched areas in the district. While we were all told to stay at home, the ambassadors were out working hard on making sure that crosswalk buttons, bus stops, business door handles were sanitized every day to try and keep the neighborhood healthy. The Ohio City Improvement District expansion will mark a almost $3.5 million investment into cleaning, safety, and maintenance services over the next 5 years.
Hello, everyone. My name is Whitney Long Jones. I'm the Community Engagement Organizer at Ohio City Incorporated. And as the engagement organizer, my role is to do my best at creating equitable programming and connecting residents to resources as best that we can. Some of the things that we've done in the past and some residents that we have focused on and engaged in that programming are our Lakeview residents. And one of the initiatives we've engaged residents in is greening. The importance of environmental health, the importance of addressing the air quality situation that has been going on for years down there. And some of the things that have come out of that is tree planting, which we did last May in 2019. And planting 12 trees, we had a ton of our partners come down and a ton of residents from across the neighborhood to support that initiative. We also worked with Trust for Public Land to help get the basketball court painted, which was something that the residents had expressed an interest in. So naming those two items, those were super successful, and we want to continue on in the work that we're doing in Lakeview and throughout Ohio City, engaging residents in an equitable manner and as best that we can in promoting quality of life and also interaction with each other.
Hi everyone, I'm Chad Biggers, the Community Safety Organizer at Ohio City Incorporated, and I'm really excited to talk about what I've been working on through 2019 and the global pandemic that has changed everything over the recent months. In 2019, I worked with residents to have home safety audits conducted, continued the work to upgrade the Ohio City camera program, and hosted quarterly community meetings with Councilman McCormick to discuss safety concerns within the neighborhood. I also worked on developing an approach to safety in the neighborhood that goes beyond crime prevention in an attempt to build the safest community possible. However, just as we are ramping up the start of working on bringing that approach into reality, we are struck with a global pandemic. Safety meetings were canceled, the audit program was suspended, having our camera team work in businesses and homes became impossible, and we were all told to stay at home. For some, staying at home wasn't possible. For our homeless population, not only could they not stay at home, but businesses being closed meant that they had no facilities where they could access the restroom or wash their hands. Recognizing that this could be a major setback for flattening the curve of COVID, I worked with our partners at NEOC, the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, and Campus District Incorporated to get portable toilets with hand washing sinks inside of them put in public places. 10 units were part of the initial program spread between Ohio City and Campus District, with 6 of those units placed in Ohio City. These units were washed down, sanitized, and sterilized every single day in order to lower the risk of spreading COVID, while also providing clean and safe sanitation stations for the most vulnerable. This was only possible through generous support from the Sisters of Charity Foundation, the United Way of Greater Cleveland, and the COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund led by the Cleveland Foundation. Right now, the units have been removed, but we'll be getting back out there with them as soon as possible in an extended program that builds off of what we have already done, and thanks to funding from the City of Cleveland. I believe a safe community must be a connected community, and that is difficult to do when we have to remain physically distant from each other. In order to maintain some connections to the community and provide updates from Ohio City, as all of our community meetings were canceled, we launched Ohio City TV, a weekly live stream hosted by Whitney Long-Jones and myself. Over the course of our 9 weeks of doing this, we've had 14 guests, over 5,400 views, and an estimated reach of over 12,000 people. We've talked about 3 different community-led IOB projects to benefit the community, spoke with the councilman about trees in the neighborhood, discussed racial equity with community leaders, and a ton more. I encourage you to go and watch the videos if you haven't. However, we've only scratched the surface of what Ohio City TV can be. As we move forward, we are hoping to expand the programming of the live stream to be on more platforms and more accessible. We also want to add more variety to what is being talked about and who is leading these talks. Some of the projects we are working on would include a storytelling show that once a month will share the experience of people in Ohio City, a history show that will highlight the many interesting histories represented across the neighborhood, and a special live stream show that will be all about holding space to have conversations that are sometimes difficult but always important to the neighborhood. The idea is to have all 3 of these shows hosted by residents in various ways, and will highlight some of the most important parts of this community. Ohio City Inc. will still have our live stream, which will have the important organizational updates and content that doesn't quite fit into those other shows, but we'll be reducing the frequency to monthly to make sure that there's space for the resident-led shows. That's what I've been working on. Thank you all so much for your time, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.
Hey everybody, this is Carrie Palma. I am your Director of Family and Youth Services and your West Recreation Manager. Just wanted to keep you updated on how we've been doing serving families on the Near West Side. So for 2019, we served close to 1,300 kids, over 150 volunteers over our 6 major sports. Things changed with many when COVID hit. We had to cancel the end of our basketball season, lacrosse, baseball, softball, and track season were all canceled. So we started thinking, how can we keep kids engaged and active during this time? And we came up with a few ideas. One of them was thinking we serve a lot of kids that maybe don't have the equipment or the fun things that many families do. They don't have the extra basketball, the football. So how can we get those things in their hands, especially when parks are closed? You can't go to a rec center. So we got a grant, and we're fortunate to have a lot of support from the community, and we're able to give out family activity bags to close to 85 families, over 200 kids served. These included board games, footballs, basketballs, chalks, everything you can think of. Then we can continue to think of ways, how do we keep them engaged? So we started doing weekly sports equipment giveaways, and we're going to continue doing that in the summer months. And then we kind of got a little virtual, and I'm going to swing it over to Matt, and he's going to kind of talk about what he does every week and what we're doing this summer and what we hope to do in the future.
Thanks, Carrie. Hey, everybody. Matt Burke, Near West Rec Lacrosse Manager. Like Carrie said, it's been a tough spring season not having our sports and having to transition and think about engagement. So one thing that we did was offer a Workout Wednesday series. And each Wednesday, we send out a video that goes over just a short exercise or series of exercises involving one sport or activity that involve little to no equipment, little to no room, either outside or in some free space in the house. It just allows everybody to stay active, keep families active during this time where, like Carrie said, parks aren't open, rec centers aren't open. So what do? Not everybody has a big backyard to play in. So we had to get creative and think about, what we could do in small space, what we could do with minimal equipment. And we have Workout Wednesdays. So we're really excited to continue that series moving forward after we go through 4th of July weekend. And then we are rolling into our individual small group sessions that will be starting up over at City Life Center, which we're very excited about.
Hi, I'm Ben Trimble, Senior Director of Real Estate and Planning for Ohio City Incorporated. In 2019, Ohio City Incorporated's housing staff efforts were all about preserving and expanding housing options for all income levels in an increasingly tight Ohio City housing market. Whether that includes development assistance for hundreds of units of market rate housing, the preservation of existing affordable housing and projects like Fairview Gardens apartment building, or the creation of new affordable units like the Forest City apartment building with the Snavely Group. 2019 also saw the establishment of an expanded collaboration with our partners at Tremont West Development Corporation. That collaboration, Near West Partners, will build on the two neighborhoods' many similarities and existing partnerships to bring new and improved services to the Near West side. The first program of this partnership will be the Near West Land Trust. It's a collaboration of Tremont West, Ohio City Incorporated, with generous support from Enterprise Community Partners and Councilman Kerry McCormick. The Near West Land Trust will provide a permanent affordable housing model for the Near West side, with both rental and for sale units. Many of these will also be located on City of Cleveland land bank lots. Donna, can you tell us a little bit more about that housing?
Yeah, hi, I'm Donna Gregonis Bailey, Housing Development Manager for Ohio City Incorporated and Tremont West Development Corporation. So building on what Ben said, we are planning on doing approximately 50 homes around the Ohio City and Tremont neighborhoods. And last year, we received preliminary approval with the city to break ground on 10 land bank sites that are slated to start construction this fall. So the whole idea behind the interchangeable designs was to make a simple house form, one that would be easy to adapt and erect on multiple sites. It is the archetypical gable house to easily fit on varied sites and different neighborhood contexts. A simple open plan and simple open form was created for this economical construction and optimal energy efficiency through modular panels. And this plan allows for stylistic adaptability across the neighborhoods and will aid to these homes being affordable in perpetuity as they will be held in the newly created Near West Land Trust. Thank you.
One of my favorite parts of our annual meetings over the years is the time where we can come together and celebrate the people who make this community so special through our awards. And I find it very difficult to sit here tonight without having those individuals amongst us. But we want to take a moment to recognize the people that made 2019 such a success. We'll be finding ways throughout the coming weeks and months to continue to honor and celebrate them through videos that we'll be posting through our Ohio City TV program and other ways. But to start things off, looking at the Resident Leader Award this year, we bestowed upon Debbie Morgan. And I think those of you who know Debbie know what an amazing ray of light she is in our community. We're talking about something who does things for others, not herself. An individual who often goes out and brings welcome packets to their neighbors. Somebody who often brings you a handwritten birthday card. And she also spends a tremendous amount of her time working with people with ADHD and mental disorders, using sewing as therapy. And so we're pleased to honor Debbie tonight with our Resident Leader Award for 2020. We're onto our list here. Our Hospitality Leader Award. I always look back at the 10 years that I've spent incorporated, and I remember the first time I started going to Dave's Markets, and you meet Dave from Dave's Markets, and everyone just think that, like me, the Dave clearly must be Dave's, right? And you find out that Dave is actually Dave Stubbe. He's a man with one name, who is the manager of our local Dave's. He's worked for that company for over 40 years, and he's always there to help people, special orders, and that friendly smile and face, like so many of the coworkers that they have there. He retired this past year, and we think it's important to recognize him with this award. And I'd also like to take a moment. The Saltzman family and Dave's have been such a big part of our community for such a long time now. And when all of the world seemed to change in early March, the first responders at Dave's Markets and the role they played in our community was absolutely essential. Whether it was people like Chrissy King, who won our Hospitality Leader Award several years ago. We actually created that award for her. They've been tremendous partners to our organization and this community, and thank you, Dave, over the years, and a well-deserved retirement. As we talk about community safety, Officer Vic Nan, I think truly represents what community policing is intended to be. I think so many of our people know Vic from showing up at the Ward 3 safety meetings, our neighborhood block clubs and events. He has played an integral role in solving high-profile crimes in the Ohio City and is a true asset for all of us. We thank Vic for his service to our community. When we look at our Community Service Award this year, we are giving that award to Westside Catholic Center, who has been serving need in our community for over 40 years. And really, as we looked at what this award meant and the reason we gave it to Westside Catholic Center, in addition to the tremendous work that they do for individuals every single day, this past year, as part of their workforce development program, Ohio City Pizzeria as a way to help job training and get people, also creating an affordable neighborhood eatery, which is something that I think has been really loved by the community. Again, as we look at everything that has happened in the past weeks, Westside Catholic Center has played a tremendous role ensure that people are safe and have the things that they need to make their way through a global pandemic. To have them as a part of our community. Our Outstanding Small Business Award this year went to Joy Machines Bike Shop. Personally, this made me extraordinarily happy. Alex knows, who is a lifelong member of our community, started Joy Machines back in 2011. I worked with Alex when I was doing economic development work in the neighborhood and watched how his business became really part of the resurgence of West 25th Street in the Market District area of our community. And I've seen how much not only that business means to him, but how much that business means to the community. He truly works to make Joy Machines a place that is welcoming for all. Bike tune-ups right now for those in need as we work our way through this pandemic. He's always working on trying to ensure safe and better transportation options for all. He is a true asset to the Ohio City community and our business community, and are grateful to have him here. Thank you, Alex. And also, as we look at Ohio City, historic preservation has been such a big part of what makes Ohio City the neighborhood that it is. And so this year, our Historic Preservation Award goes to the Snavely Group and the Forest City Apartments. They took the Forest City Bank building and the Seymour buildings on West 25th Street and Detroit Avenue and brought them back to their former glory. They also provided 38 affordable apartments. Detroit Avenue, we have over 800 units of housing, over $250 million of investment going on a 7-block stretch there. But directly across will be a future 23-acre waterfront park. The ability to provide affordable housing units in a location like that is so important and necessary. And they did just such an extraordinary job of bringing that building back to life. And so thank you to the Snavely Group for your hard work there. Our neighborhood Coach of the Year award is a new award. It was that we started Near West Recreation is the idea of how do you bring children and families together from all different backgrounds. How do we get adults in the community participating? And we want to take time to honor those volunteers that make that program possible, serving over 1,300 kids. So the inaugural winner of our Near West Recreation Coach Award goes to Cam Helmick. Cam, who has several children, 4 of which are participating in Near West Rec, which is amazing. I have 2 and can barely keep things straight. Cam has coached over 10 teams the last 2 years. He always brings a bright and smiling face and is dedicated to making Near West Recreation better. And we thank you, Cam, for all your dedication and service to this. Our Arts and Culture Award this year goes to Glenn Infante. I think most people know Glenn for the Prince mural on the side of the Shoreway. And I'm sure several have seen his work in Lakeview Estates with the basketball courts, which was a tremendous partnership between CMA, our organization, and the Trust for Public Land, and did something extraordinary. And I want to take a moment to thank Glenn. Thank you for your creativity, your amazing talent in bringing the visions to life of children and people of Lakeview Estates, and showing everyone that Lakeview Estates matters, because it does. Lakeview Estates was an important part of Ohio City when it opened in 1937, and is an important part of Ohio City today, and will be an important part of Ohio City forever. So thank you, Glenn. I cannot put into words how much you've changed the hearts and minds of people in our community. Thank you for your work. Our presidential award this year goes to Councilman Kerry McCormack, whom I have had the great pleasure of working with now for, I think, 8 years in a variety of, including at this organization. And there are a lot of reasons that I think that people can be grateful that Councilman McCormack represents them at City Hall, doing some great work on very important issues. But the reality is, we gave Councilman McCormack this award for his work in Near West Recreation. Now, Kerry was a part of helping make that a reality, at its inception, and really starting to build it up. But the reality is that a program like Near West Recreation can't exist on user fees. It's a bad business model, right? It exists on generosity. And Near West Recreation, as it's grown, has had a lot of burdens of costs. And we were really trying to figure out how we make it more sustainable. And last year, Councilman McCormack stepped up and worked to obtain $50,000 in funding annually from the city of Cleveland to help support that work. And without that, we would not be able to continue that programming today. So thank you, Councilman McCormack. Thank you for your dedication to all the residents of Ward 3 and stakeholders, and in particular, the youth and family that are supported by that great program. And lastly, our Father Mark DiNardo Legacy Award goes to Young. Daryl, again, is, looking back on things, one of my favorite aspects of this is getting to know so many different people and stakeholders in our community. And I look back on, when I first met Daryl Young, who owned the corner of West 25th Street and Lorraine Avenue, the shopping plaza that was there. And by the way, thinking about somebody that was investing in Ohio City in a time when not many people were willing to do so in the late 1970s and early 1980s. And Daryl had been a great caretaker of that property, always ensuring that the types of businesses in there were businesses that were beneficial to our community. But I really got to know him early on in my tenure here, and he really wanted to find ways to get involved in Ohio City, and brought him on. He ended up being one of the inaugural board members of our Special Improvement District. To be very honest, that initial Special Improvement District would not have passed without the support of Daryl. Ended up becoming the chair of our Special Improvement District, and it was through his leadership that Special Improvement District not only was able to move and grow, but also expand in the way that you see today. And the last expansion wouldn't have happened again without his leadership and support. And so, Daryl, I think that we all owe you a tremendous amount of gratitude for your role in that over the course of time. And I think that it's important to what's happening around us now, and you see everything that is happening from a civic standpoint these days, the role that special improvement districts can play in our society, I think, is something that people really need to take notice of. You look at our ambassadors who are friendly, unarmed individuals that are out ensuring that we're keeping an eye on things, that we have a safe and clean environment, that there's a friendly face to greet you and give you the information you need on many levels. Special improvement districts are the answer to a lot of the issues that we're facing today, and can play such a major role in that. And none of that would have been possible in Ohio City without Daryl. So Daryl, you have my and our unending thank you so much. And again, for all our award winners tonight, we're sorry that we're not able to have you with us in person, but we will continue to let people know about the great work that you do. And thank you for making Ohio City a better place. Thank you.
My name is Carrie Miller. I'm the Director of Neighborhood Services for Ohio City Incorporated. It's been great tonight to be able to remember and celebrate what our organization did in 2019 and think about how we move forward. We also want to take an opportunity to talk about how the neighborhood responded to the pandemic that we've been experiencing. It should be no surprise to anybody that the Ohio City neighbors, the residents in this neighborhood, really stepped up to help their neighbors during this time of need, this very strange time that we've been living through. We want to highlight Karen Desital and other members of the Franklin Clinton Block Club who ran an IOB campaign to be able to deliver food to 300 staff members at Lutheran Hospital, all serving in the front lines. There were 10 Ohio City restaurants who donated food, cooked and packaged the food to be delivered to employees. Volunteers worked hard to make sure that food was delivered. All shifts at the hospital was great. Malaz El-Gamiabi, Brian Mallory, and Angelo Trevisano also ran their own IOB campaign to raise money to support residents at Riverview Tower on West 25th Street, the CMHA property on West 25th Street. They put together packages that included sanitary items, canned food, puzzles, and games for all 500 residents. The money that was raised went to pay for 500 masks that were made by refugee response volunteers, working with CMHA staff. And Brian Mallory, who lives there, the residents were able to get those packages delivered to all 500 residents, which is just amazing. There were other businesses, some of which we talked about already, but Urban Twine, who gave out food once a week, Saucy Brew Works, who gave out food once a week to residents in the neighborhood, other restaurants on the whole near west side that really came together and made sure that everybody was cared for. The last thing that I wanted to mention is that we're still accepting applications for the Ohio City Small Grant Program. So if you have an idea of how you can work to build neighbors, build a neighborhood camaraderie during this time where we're all socially distancing, we encourage you to apply for a small grant from Ohio City Incorporated. We know that there were a lot more activities than this, and we want to hear from you. If you know of some of the random acts or coordinated acts of kindness that you saw in the neighborhood over the past 3 months, we would love to gather those stories, share them back out with everybody so that we can continue to build on the neighboring that we saw over the past 3 months, which is just phenomenal. So thank you for everything. Thank you, residents. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting each other during this very strange time that we've all just lived through.
Hello again. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge our 2020 corporate partners and to thank them for their support. As we go through certainly some very unstable times right now, all the work that we're talking to you tonight would not be possible without the generosity and support of many people. And our corporate partners are making a lot of this work possible. And I also want to take a moment to recognize that we're really talking about partnerships here. And these aren't all about dollars, but some of our partners have just really gone above and beyond in the last several months, looking at people like Lutheran Hospital and Dave's first that have been so brave as we work through all of this as a society together. People like Saucy Brewworks, who's one of our Ohio City Guardians, who is giving out free pizzas to those in need and beverages to first responders. You know, I could go up and list and talk to you about the great work that these individuals are doing in our community. And we are proud to be partners with the individuals that not only support our work, but support our community. So thank you. Each member should have received a ballot for our Board of Trustees elections in the mail. If you did not, please contact Carrie Miller at ohiocity.org or 216-299-5333 to ensure that you receive yours. Please note that only residential members in good standing or business members can vote in our elections. Full applications for candidates can be found on our website at www.ohiocity.org, or if you need a hard copy, please contact Carrie. You may select only 4 candidates for the board, and please note that Maria Nose has withdrawn her application for board candidacy. I would like to personally thank Maria, a lifelong neighborhood resident, for her years of service to our organization. She is a dedicated and passionate individual who cares deeply about Ohio City and represents everything that we hope to have in a board member. Thank you, Maria. Now, when your application is completed, you can either mail your ballot or drop off your ballot at our new offices by July 25th, located at 3308 Lorraine Avenue, directly across the street from Planet Fitness. Thank you for taking place in the democracy of Ohio City Incorporated. Lastly, we want to hear from you. Please visit our website at www.ohiocity.org for more on what we do and a full staff directory. We are here to listen. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this program, community development corporations need to be responsive to the needs of the community and lead neighborhood revitalization. And that has never been more important than now. Now, that can't just mean new buildings, shiny parks, or more accessible infrastructure. Our board recently passed a resolution in support of Cleveland City Council's declaration of racism as a public health issue and pledged to take action steps to further anti-racist values within our organization and the neighborhood. Now, for Ohio City to truly reach its potential, for Ohio City to actually become a place where everyone benefits from what is happening, and for Ohio City to truly become a place that is inclusive and welcoming for all, it will take each and every one of us ourselves in the mirror every day and ask yourself, what can you do to make this neighborhood a better place? What can you do to be better? What action steps can you take that are intentional to work on these issues, right? Now, we look forward to taking this journey with and alongside of you. I'm not gonna lie, this is going to be a long and a hard road, but it is a worthwhile one. I wanna thank you, all you all do to make Ohio City such an amazing place. Thank you and have a great night.